there was some like awesome stuff in there in your story. There was a couple of things in there that really intrigued me, because you were born with a disability and figured out you love sport pretty early on. And for some people that would be like a real, a real hindrance or an obstacle to actually pursuing what they really love to do. So what do you think it was about your mindset or about your attitude that allowed you to just continue on regardless?
Yeah, it literally came down to the love of the sport. It wasn't just the health and fitness that it provided along the way, it was also the social connectedness that I really enjoyed. Once I started to get a real taste for that, things like my leg didn't worry me at all, or what I had or what I didn't have weren't a factor into what I wanted to achieve. So of course there were times when I was younger where people would say, there's always a bit of bullying going on in primary schools, but it was one of those things where I just put it aside and said, well, there's really nothing wrong or different about me at all. If they're the ones that pick on me for looking physically different from someone else, I think they're the one with the problem. That's the only time that it's sort of played a factor where you get a little bit down, but then you just get back up, I suppose. I've always been lucky, I've had a lot of confidence, and so that's where I was sort of able to just go on doing what I wanted to do. Where I understand that that's not always the case in everyone's for everyone, but for me, it just never played a factor. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do. Of course, I had to tailor it to work sometimes. Like I had to go in a slower lane when I was starting off because I wasn't as fast as the other boys with 2 legs. But there's just things you can do and implement to sort of make it work.
And you asked a really key question when you were telling your story. It was like, because you decided that the Paralympics in 2004 is what you wanted to do, and then you kind of said to yourself, all right, so what do I need? What is like the gap? What do I need to do in order to create that outcome? That's my phrasing of it. And I mean, is there any other kind of key questions or key things that you've learned along the way that have really empowered you to actually create your success?
Yeah, definitely. Number one was, the biggest one was to listen to other people. When I was at school, I was a cheeky little bastard at school, so actually listening to someone and taking on advice was the first thing that I got my head around pretty quickly. That there are resources there to help me, so use that resource. So that was the main one for me, to make sure that I stick to a schedule, to make sure that it's planned out so I have an even balance between my swimming, my social life and my schooling. That was very important for me. And lastly, it was the goal setting. So, okay, here's my ultimate goal. Let's say the Athens Paralympics, for example. What are the baby steps to get there? So it was, okay, number one, I need to do a good time at the next trials. I need to be training 12 times a week. I need to be going to bed at this time. I need to making sure that I'm sticking to this diet plan. And so I ticked that off along the way, and that kept me motivated.
Okay, so it was listening to the people around you. It was, what was the second thing you said?
Sticking to my schedule.
Oh, sticking to
So having an even balance. Making sure that you're getting everything from all different aspects of your life.
Having that balance, yeah.
You don't want to burn out. Yeah. And the last one was, the
goal setting. And just having those small, very strategic steps to kind of hit that bigger goal.
Yeah.
Awesome. And that's what you talk to high school students about now, is a lot of that goal setting techniques and all that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.